My dad had a card drop through the door, and I didn't really think much of it at first. I just read over it, and then a few months later I realised that Isla wasn't doing very well at school at all. She was getting to her second year of school and she wasn't reading very well, she wasn't writing at all. Her attention was really poor. She was often getting in trouble with certain, distracting people and other things like that. So yeah, I just thought that was the right time to possibly go back and have a re-look at the card. And so I gave them a ring at the Alison Lawson Centre, and I spoke to a lovely lady who told us to come along to the assessment. So we went for the initial assessment, and first of all actually they said that she couldn't, she was probably a little bit too young to go and do it. But then I had an email about a week later and they were going to tailor a plan for her. So we should come along. So we went along to the initial first treatment, and we decided instead of doing it in a big block, we were going to do it over the course of a few weeks, which I think was a lot better for Isla, and also because I live quite a while away, they let her do that. So we went along to the first treatment, which was just absolutely fantastic. She really enjoyed it. She was very overexcited, I've got to say, jumping around. Yeah, she didn't listen very well, but she did. She really enjoyed it, and we drove away from there and she was really happy. After about 2 weeks, she was getting the hang of it, and it was getting to the stage where she couldn't wait to go to her sessions on a Tuesday afternoon, which was great, because she'd never really been bothered about school. She found lots of excuses to come home after school, often called a sickie, as I might say. But since then, since the beginning of this, she's been excited about going to school, she's been excited about doing the treatment, she's loved the homework. She actually asked to do the homework, which was quite bizarre after a couple of weeks. I mean, she's had eyesight problems from when she was 6 months old, so I kind of put it down to that really. But I suppose when she started school, at the end of reception year, I thought there must be something not quite right. She wasn't grasping any reading, she'd never pick up a book, she'd never want to let me read to her even. And her elder sister loved reading, she loved me reading to her, so I definitely knew then something wasn't quite right. She found it very difficult to listen. Also, they picked up on her coordination, constantly knocking things over. No, her teachers didn't really ever pick up on anything. They've never actually said anything might be wrong. It was me who more picked up on that from her level of reading, and again, comparing her to her sister. They've said that she was slightly, struggled with reading, struggled with listening, but they never said it could be dyslexia or it could be ADHD or anything like that. Never. I do remember one of her teachers saying, "Oh, it'll be okay, she'll catch up by the end of the year," and this was the beginning of this year. But as we were nearing towards March, April sort of time, that was when I went and to get her reading, especially before next year. She can't be going into year 2 with no reading skill. It was only a couple of months later when I started voicing my concerns to my parents about Isla and her learning at school that my dad actually said, "Well, what about this centre, they could just go for an assessment." And that was when I did really. So I saw the leaflet, and obviously I read the website and saw other people's stories, and it wasn't just about learning, it was about the way they were, sort of coordination and attention span and certain other difficulties that it clicked that really sounded like Isla. So that was when I rang them and went for the assessment, and from there it all went perfectly. Well, I just wanted to know really how they could treat her and what it was all about, and when they explained to me it was all about eye exercises, I kind of initially actually thought, oh, she has eyesight problems, she has a squint. I was a little bit worried, but they completely said, you know, it's absolutely fine. Most of our children do have some eyesight problems as well. Come in for the assessment and then we can go from there. Joe actually, who did the assessment, said immediately, you know, there's definitely something not quite right here. But because of her age, we don't know what we can do, but I will be in touch. So I left feeling a little bit disheartened, kind of thinking, no, I can't do anything for her. And then not even a week later, they emailed me saying they had spoken to the head office and they were going to tailor a programme for her, a slightly simplified version, because of her age. She's slightly younger than most people they treat. And then and then we started as soon as the following week, which was just brilliant. I didn't realise they could fit me in so quickly, but yeah, it all went really, really quickly from there. So I was just over the moon. I asked Jo quite a few things, like, do you think it's ADHD? Do you think it's other behavioural problems? And she said, no. We can help her. We just need to find a way. So I was relieved, actually. I wasn't going mad. I was, over the moon. Although I was quite apprehensive to what they could have done. I didn't quite believe all the stories I'd heard, to be honest, but I thought it was well worth giving it a go anyway. With her improvement, we noticed it from the second session. She had moved up a book level by the second session. By the third, she had moved up another book level. And then a couple of weeks later, her teacher actually came up to me as I picked her up to take her to the sessions and said, I don't know what's happening, but her listening is just amazing, her observations improved, her coordination's improved, and also her patience and frustration's a lot better. So I don't know what's happening, but it's just fantastic. And that was her teacher saying it to me. Well, they were all for it, although they still didn't really get it. So I gave them a lot of the leaflets, which she did read through, and she was completely supportive of it. The headmaster was really supportive of it, which I was really pleased with, because I think a lot of schools do find are quite confused with the whole situation and don't really want to, help really, or don't know how to help. I understand that they've got a lot that they have to be taught, the national curriculum, I understand that, but I think a lot of people are quite scared to branch out. But this school, I've got to say, were really supportive, which I was just really pleased. I've recommended it already to lots of people. One of my best friends' little girls, she's actually considering doing the treatment. And also one of the nurses I work with at work, her husband has dyslexia and has always struggled. So I've given her a lot of information about it, and I think they're going to go for it as well. Her handwriting's really improved. She used to write really big, scrawly, mirrored letters a lot of the time. She'd often miss letters out, most letters actually. And now her writing's a lot smaller. It's really, really neat. I actually thought it was my other daughter's writing when she came to me with it about 3 weeks ago. She said, oh look, Emily, you've done that. But she hadn't, and it was her. Even on the final session with Jessie yesterday, we saw the improvement there. It was just amazing. It was well worth it. I'd do it again a million times, definitely. Well worth it. Every single penny.
Thank you, Jessie, for helping me.